Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Blind Boys Politics. It's Nicholas Rod here with you on a Saturday morning. A new day for us here at Blind Boys Politics, but very excited to bring this new series for you guys. So, as you can probably tell from the title, what we're going to be focusing on here is some good news. I've been declared the good news king here on the podcast. And what we decided to do, if you remember, if you've been a fan of the show for a little while now, you'll remember that back in the early part of April, I did an episode, kind of a last minute put together because we lost the file for the episode we had recorded before for that week. The voice cracks are starting already. This is great. This is going to be fun. But anyway, we had done an episode where we just focused on good news. And we've done this twice. The first time was for Christmas. The other time, like I said, was back in the early part of April. And we decided that why not turn this into a regular episode. So what we're going to do on either the first or second Saturday of each month is we're going to give you guys a few good news stories here, like we did in those episodes prior to this one, and just enjoy the morning with some good news. Get away from all the negativity that's flowing throughout the world, throughout the country, wherever you're listening from. Just get away from that negativity that we see so frequently and just revel in some good news stories, So today I'm on my own, and we're probably going to play around with this. Sometimes Chris will join us. Sometimes I might do it on my own. But that will remain to be seen moving forward. We might just, surprise you guys. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes he'll join. Sometimes Chris will join. And we'll just do this every first or second Saturday of each month. And I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do, as much as Chris does. We love the good news stories here at Blind Boys Politics. If you've been a fan of the show for a while, you'll know that this is Chris's favorite segment during the regular episodes. And it's definitely one of mine. I love these stories, but I'm rambling at this point. You guys are here for some good news, for some smiles and for some enjoyment. So let's jump right in, shall we? So the first story is one of just pure determination, pure motivation to follow your dreams. And that comes in the form of a woman in Texas who fought for decades to get her teaching degree and to fulfill her dream of becoming a teacher. So she knew that she wanted to be a teacher right out of high school. When she graduated, she wanted to go to college to get her teaching degree. Problem was her mother was very ill, and she had a family as well over the next few years, so she really didn't have time to take classes at first. Well, down the line, she was working 2 jobs. She worked as a bus monitor, and then she worked as a custodian, and she was taking care of her mom. So she was very busy over those next number of years, honestly, a couple decades. And at 37 years old, she decided to start taking just classes here and there, start working her way towards that degree. It took her 9 years and a lot of hard work and a lot of struggle over those 9 years. She did lose her mother. She lost her sisters. And that almost brought her to the edge. It almost made her quit. But her husband kept her kept her determined, kept her moving forward, and over the course of 9 years, she managed to get her bachelor's degree for teaching, and she became a teacher, a first grade teacher, at the school that she had worked at for so long as a bus monitor and custodian. But it doesn't stop there. With Teacher Appreciation Week just happening, she was met with a few pretty big surprises. So the university where she got her bachelor's degree for teaching actually created a $500 scholarship in her name that would go to students looking to get their college degrees in teaching from that university. But that's not it, though. The mayor of the town that she lived and worked in actually named a day after her. It is the Be the Best You Can Be Wanda Smith Day. So she has a day in that town in her name for all the work and the determination that she showed by getting through all these barriers, all these struggles, and getting her degree. Not to mention, outside of the school that she works at, there's a bench with her name and Be the Best You Can Be inscribed on it. The Be the Best You Can Be is basically the phrase that she uses for motivation. And, it's her signature phrase pretty much. And, she was surprised with all these gifts. Her husband and her children were there to congratulate her when, at the school, when she was surprised with the inscribed bench outside. All the elementary students at that school were there to cheer for her. And, even beyond that, she still goes above and beyond as a teacher to this day, because throughout the pandemic, obviously, it's been very, very hard as far as schools are concerned. Students' learning has been majorly affected by online learning and just this whole separation factor of it all, especially for young students. So what she has done is she'll actually take it upon herself to drive to the homes of her students and drop off the work packets herself, because some of the students have, single parents or parents that are at work all the time that can't pick them up, can't pick up the work, and therefore the student doesn't get to have the same learning experience as everyone else. So she'll deliver the packets personally to the students, because it's so important to her that that students learn, that students get the chance to get the same education no matter what the situation is. So she still goes above and beyond to this day. And this story is just determination at its finest. The amount of hard work, of just pure grind that you have to get through all of that. So many barriers, so many mountains to climb. And she did it. She made it. And she has a day named after her. She has a day in her name. She has a scholarship in her name. And it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. The amount of work that she's put in. And she's just a clear example that you can do what you want to do. If you have a dream, you can strive for it and work towards it. She fought so hard for so long and succeeded, never giving up. And that is just beautiful all in itself. Just absolutely beautiful in so many ways. Our next story has to do with with animals. We love our animal stories here on this show, and it's a nice little quick one, a nice little transitional story. Along the Jersey Shore, over 800 turtles have been saved from storm drains by volunteers in the area. And they have turned the turtles over to the Stockton University care program, which takes care of these turtles. And the program has over 1,100 turtles in their care. And what they do is they raise them for a certain amount of time. I want to say it was a year. I didn't write the exact time down. But about a year, they'll take care of them, make sure they're healthy, and then they'll release them back into the wild in a safe area. That way they can continue to live and flourish. So it's just a nice little story. Saving the turtles, getting them the care they need, and just allowing them to live and flourish as animals should. Our next story, moving right along here, takes place in Ohio, where during the winter, it was a stormy day, and a man was driving by and saw this other man just walking to work in the middle of a snowstorm and offered him a ride to his job. Well, after dropping this man off, the man that gave the ride, his name is Jimmy, just to make things a little clearer for the story. He worked with the nonprofit organization Blessings in Disguise to actually get the man who got the ride, his name being John, to get John his own driver's license and to get him the necessary classes, the driver's ed classes, and all of that. They paid for all of that, so he didn't have to pay a penny of it. And then they even went beyond that. Jimmy set up a GoFundMe and managed to get John a Toyota RAV4. A 2013 Toyota RAV4. And it was all paid off. John didn't have to pay a penny of it. And it even had 6 months of paid off insurance, so he wouldn't have to worry about the insurance for 6 months. And it didn't even stop there. They also got him a new bike and bike rack that went on the car. So just by seeing John walking along the street during a winter storm, Jimmy took it upon himself to put all this effort in to make sure that John got a car, helped him get a license along with Blessings in Disguise. Helped him get the car, helped him get the bike and the bike rack. All paid off. All of it was paid off when it was given to John. Didn't have to worry about a single payment on any of it. Didn't even have to worry about insurance for 6 months. That's crazy. That's going above and beyond at a whole new level. Most people, when they see someone walking down the street in a snowstorm, they'd be like, that's terrible. They shouldn't have to do that. Or, why do they do that? And that'd be it. But Jimmy took it upon himself to do all this, to go to all these lengths, to put in all this effort just so John wouldn't have to worry about walking in the snow anymore. That's simply amazing. Simply amazing. Because honestly, how many people think of doing something like that? How many people consider going to those lengths? It's just amazing. And I know that if I were John, there wouldn't be words to express gratitude or, the thanks that would just completely roll over me. Honestly, it'd be like living in a dream. Because here you are, if you're John, walking through a snowstorm, and that's your normal day. That's your normal day, is walking to work, whether it's rain, snow, sunshine, whatever. To just be seen, and then all of a sudden you have a paid off car and a bike. Just because someone decided to do it. That there are no words for that. You just go speechless. I'd probably cry. Just purely amazing. And an absolute show of kindness. But that's not the only kindness story that we have here. No. There's a retired veteran. He's a retired U.S. Army sergeant who has been driving around the country and living in his car to help other veterans through post-traumatic stress. And he also talks at correctional facilities to try to help youths find the right path. And he does this a lot through both poetry and art. He's a huge artist. He loves art. It's his passion, no doubt. And he's used that. So I apologize. He's used that to actually help all these people. He's used his own income to build these workshops and to create his art to help these veterans and these kids get through some traumatic experiences and some traumatic situations. And he was actually given his own home. A nonprofit worked for quite a while with the community where the house was located to help finish it up, to get it in really good condition for him, and he didn't have to pay a penny for it. It was given to him in full for no cost at all. And he's dedicated his time, now that he has the house. He turned the basement into his own workshop and his own art studio. And he's going to use that space to continue creating art and writing poetry to try and help veterans and children across the country through his own passion, through his own love of art. This one's amazing to me because, when I can't speak from experience, but when you hear stories from veterans and when you hear their experiences and what they go through when they're on active duty, it's terrifying to listen to. At least for me, it can be. To imagine going through these things. And now that he's retired, this former sergeant is taking his time. He was using his income to travel around the entire country to speak to and to help these other veterans and children in correctional facilities through all the things that they're going through. Try to help children find the right path, help other veterans through their post-traumatic stress, And again, it's above and beyond. It's amazing. And to be able to do something like that through your own passion, like he does, that's gotta be the best feeling in the world. You know, it's like being a musician and being able to use that music to help people through their hard times. He has his art, you know, he has his visual art and his poetry, which is his love, his passion, and he's able to use that to help other people. There's no better feeling than that. There's no better feeling than being able to help other people by doing the thing that you love doing. Just heart of gold right there, honestly. Heart of gold. Hey guys, so there's just one thing that I realized that I forgot while editing this. This veteran that I've been talking about throughout this story actually is in an HBO series called We Are Not Done Yet. So if you're interested in that and maybe hearing more about him or seeing him in that documentary, you can find it. You know, you can look for that documentary, We Are Not Done Yet. And yeah, let's get back to the rest of the show. Enjoy. But we have another story of not just kindness, but heroism. And in just like such an amazing fashion. So there was a car accident in Maryland. It was a 5-car pileup that ended up putting a pickup truck basically dangling over the guard railing over a bay, and the car seat from the pickup truck had a 2-year-old girl, you know, strapped into it, and it fell out of the truck and into the bay. And without thinking, this anonymous Samaritan jumped off of the bridge where the accident happened and saved the child. You know, the child was flown to a Baltimore hospital in a medevac and is in stable condition and recovering. So definitely has an amazing ending there. 7 of the other people injured in the pileup have been released from the hospital, so they're all recovering, which is amazing to hear. And kind of the really amazing part beyond the act itself of jumping off the bridge to save the child is the fact that the person that did it wants to stay completely anonymous. There's no name, no identifying characteristics of them at all. No picture, no name, no nothing. They explicitly asked that their identity don't be revealed. And that's amazing in its own right. First, you perform this act of just complete heroism to jump off the bridge like that, to risk yourself to save this 2-year-old girl. And then to explicitly ask to keep your name and your identity out of the news, out of the public eye, is amazing. Because it'd be so easy at times for certain people to get their name out there. You know, I performed this act. I did this. This is who I am, you know, stuff like that, just to get that little bit of recognition, that public recognition. But to actually avoid that, explicitly avoid doing that, is amazing. They didn't do it to look like a hero in the public eye. They didn't do it to get their name in the paper and in the news on TV. No. They did it to try to save a child's life. And they were successful. The child's recovering. And, they're the nameless hero. The faceless and the nameless hero. And that's wonderful to see. Absolutely wonderful to see. And whoever you are out there who performed this act, just hand on heart for you. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. We have one more story for you here to wrap it up. And there is a mother-daughter team from Oklahoma who are climbing Mount Everest together. And they're aiming for the top. They're aiming for the summit. They're trying to go all the way if they can. Their main goal is to just enjoy it overall. But what's amazing about these two is that the mom is in her 60s and has asthma. So she's fighting those high altitudes and fighting, that struggle to climb a mountain of that size. The daughter just recently overcame ovarian cancer. Made that fight back, went through the chemotherapy, went through surgeries. And they're fighting together to climb to the top of Mount Everest. That is amazing. Here these two are, mother-daughter, spending the time together doing what they love because they're experienced climbers. They've climbed in the past. And now they're taking on something as big as Mount Everest. But they've already overcome so much. So much. Dealing with something like asthma and dealing with something like cancer is a lot, all in itself. That's a fight. That is definitely a fight. And for them to overcome that and fight their way back and to fight their way forward and to try and tackle something as challenging as Everest and doing it together, it's just, it's so heartwarming. It's so heartwarming. That's family right there. That is family to the T. And, they've explicitly said, and like I said before, if they get to the summit of the mountain, that would be absolutely amazing. At the same time, they just want to enjoy their time together and enjoy their time climbing. They've said that, if they're not enjoying any of the time that they're spending up there, well, then they're missing the point. And who can argue with that, honestly? When you've made a fight like that and you're coming all the way back, you just want to have some fun. You want to have some fun doing what you love to do. And what would be amazing if they do reach the top, they would be the first American mother-daughter team to reach the summit of Mount Everest. So, we'll be cheering for them. Let's hope that they make it to the top. And if we happen to see anything about the story, we'll have an update here on Blind Boys Politics, because this is something to this is ongoing right now. This is something to keep track of for sure. But fight your way back to full strength and to fight your way forward up the biggest mountain, up the tallest mountain in the world. We're cheering for y'all. But that is all we have. This is what we have for our Saturday morning good news episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you'll enjoy it moving forward. I know I can't wait to make this into a regular series on the show. But beyond that, make sure you go follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter, both our personal accounts and the Blind Boys Politics account. If you follow the Blind Boys Politics account, you can expect to be all caught up on breaking news. We try to tweet live as things are happening, as events are happening. So you'll be caught up even before episodes come out on here. Beyond that, we also have our articles on Medium. Make sure that you jump over there to read those. Link to the latest one will be in the show notes. And that's all. Make sure to tune in Monday morning for the Monday morning news episode, and we will see you later, guys. Have